Welcome, listeners, to Embracing Power and Potential, your go-to podcast where we travel through the realms of personal growth, mindset mastery, and fear-conquering strategies to help achieve your greatest desires. I'm your host, Portia, and I'm thrilled to be your guide on this transformative experience. If you're ready to unleash your authentic power and elevate your life, you're in the right place. Join me and our special guests as we embark on conversations that will broaden your horizons and enrich your journey. So, sit back and immerse yourself in these unmatched discussions. It's time to expand your mind and your life. Hello, my lovely people. I hope you all had a nice week if you are listening in real time. And I'm saying week because I am now uploading an episode weekly instead of fortnightly from your requests. So I am delivering. Today's topic that we are going to be talking about is coming out of survival mode. And from my experience, particularly around coming out of a toxic relationship and taking your power back. And we'll get into nervous system regulation, but this won't just be based on leaving unhealthy relationships, but just survival mode in general as well. Living in survival mode is actually so common between living in unhealthy environments, and this could have been normalized by family generations, being in toxic relationships, living our life on autopilot, and then feeling stressed like we are falling behind and we're not doing enough. Today's episode, we are going to be talking about survival mode and basically what that is. Maybe something that you don't even know that you may be living right now, and I guess how we can overcome this. So first of all, survival mode. What is it? Well, it is the state that your mind and your body enter when you're under the feeling of like constant stress, maybe just in your daily life, from work, living in an unhealthy relationship, which is something that I've experienced, and that's where I will be talking about this topic based on my experience, but also just in general, as survival mode can be caused from so many different factors in life. This could be from your family life and the environment that you live in there, being in survival mode. And then I'll get into some coping mechanisms that can come from this if you are living in an environment where you do come under more stress than usual. And when you're in survival mode, this is because your nervous system is dysregulated. And this is when we go into flight, fight, or freeze mode. And then there's fawn as well. But I'm just going to cover the main three today. So when your nervous system is dysregulated, this is when it can become harder to navigate through situations that are heightened emotionally or stressful situations. And this is when our body goes into one of these three. So if you're in flight mode, that's where you basically take off. You leave the situation, abandon ship. If your body goes into flight mode, this is when aggression can come in, but it's a way subconsciously that we are protecting ourselves, because survival mode is about safety and keeping our body safe and feeling safe in our own bodies. And then there's freeze mode. So this is when, yeah, we freeze in the moment. We don't know what to say. Maybe we lose our words or train of thought to be able to fight back. So we just do nothing. And that looks like freeze mode. So maybe think about a time where you have experienced a hard situation, maybe an argument within your family or relationship, and think about where your body responses to either flight, fight, or freeze mode. When you're in survival mode, your main focus usually is just getting through the day. And it's not necessarily you're not growing or really thriving because you literally don't have the mental capacity to even do that or look that far ahead. Ever feel like you're meant for more, but something keeps holding you back? Maybe you've read the books, set the goals, but deep down, doubt still creeps in. It's not just about working harder, it's about rewriting your mindset for success. I help ambitious young people break past limiting beliefs, step into their power, and create the life they know they are meant for. If you're ready to stop playing small and start living big, book in your free discovery call with me today. My website will be linked in the show notes, or you can find me in my Instagram bio. Embracing Power and Potential Coaching Services. A vision to empower 10,000 young people to create a life they truly desire. And that's totally okay. So, when you are in survival mode, it's important to not be hard on yourself and to really focus on feeling safe within your body. And sometimes it's just about even finding motivation through the day. Some symptoms of survival mode is feeling burnt out, anxious, numb, or disconnected from yourself, from your family and friends, or just from life in general. And then there's emotional burnout, and this can come from being in relationships that mentally drain you. And sometimes you may not even know that you are burnt out because it may just be your normal to be dealing with these sorts of people in your life that bring down your spirit and cause you emotional burnout. So one thing that I have learned in my experience from this is releasing guilt for not being able to be there for someone after they've broken you. And I can talk about this in relation to my ex and even some family members. Because if you're an empathic person where you do feel for other people, but you're also hurting yourself, it can be fucking draining. And this can cause hyper independence for not wanting to rely on anyone and feeling like you have to do everything yourself. This can be a symptom of survival mode. And a lot of people don't even realize that they are in survival mode. It just becomes their normal. When you're in survival mode, some coping mechanisms can look like being a short fuse, emotionally lashing out, overthinking, people pleasing, and perfectionism. Because sometimes in survival mode, you feel like you have to, in my experience anyway, feeling like if you didn't live up to this person's expectations, whether it's your partner's or your parents, or in my case, it was my ex-partner, you feel like something's going to blow up or they're going to blow up. So you do anything in your power to make sure that they're okay. You end up putting your needs or their needs before your own. And perfectionism is in relation to not wanting to fail, not wanting to disappoint other people or yourself, especially when we start living in autopilot. And then we start stressing and feeling like we are falling behind or that we aren't doing enough. And there's a difference between having pressure and stress. So having pressure on your future and, having goals and working towards things and working on yourself is different to stressing about not being far enough in your life, because maybe you're comparing yourself to other people at your age of maybe buying houses or having babies, and you're still navigating your way or finding yourself. And that's okay, because everyone is on their own journey. And there's no time limit or expectation that you have to live up to. Maybe society has these expectations, by your 30s, you're sort of having babies or whatever it is that it looks like for you, but that doesn't have to be the case. Once again, that's just a story that's been made up. So go at your own pace in life and enjoy your own journey. Some things that I have found that worked for me when I was in survival mode was protecting my energy and my peace. So instead of reacting, learning to respond. And this can take time, because when your nervous system is dysregulated, your first instinct to situations is fight, flight, or freeze. So you may want to just be aggressive, but instead protect your energy and your peace. Just take a moment, take a breath, and ask yourself, is this worth my energy? And when you do actually change your energy, you'll notice that the whole dynamic of the situation will change. For example, when me and my partner would have an argument, or I would notice that he was in a bad mood when I'd got home from work, what I used to do at the start is match his energy, get in a shitty mood as well. But that would lead to absolutely nowhere. It would lead to us arguing and not getting anywhere, not having a good time, and I ruined my day as well. So when I started learning about this work, I started taking check of my own energy and making a choice to change it in that moment by taking a breath and setting the intention to change my energy and to have loving energy towards my partner, even if he was not feeling it at that time. I promise you, it does work, because every time I would do this and just change my own energy and not react, but consciously respond, he would come around and all of a sudden his energy would change and the whole feeling in the house would change and become positive. And another one that I did touch on already is releasing the guilt of not being able to be there for someone after they've broken you. So this is really about putting yourself and your needs first, because at the end of the day, you can't pour from a cup that is empty. So taking the time to recharge your own batteries, reflecting on maybe where you may have been wrong in a situation, or if you're not, reflecting on how you feel about the situation or about the person, and just sending them love and forgiveness is a big energy changer. Even if you don't actually say to them yourself at the start that you forgive them, feeling forgiveness within your own body, first of all, brings back your energy to yourself. You're not giving that negative energy out and wasting your energy. And you will become lighter. You will feel lighter, because when you actually feel resentment for someone, even if they have wronged you, you're only poisoning yourself, because that's energy, that feeling, negativity stores in your body. And this is when we do eventually lash out and over small things, because we have this built up nasty energy in our bodies that needs to be released. So doing this in your own time, maybe journaling about what you've been through, or talking about it with a friend or someone that you can trust, or even telling them, how it made you feel with I feel statements, not saying what they've done wrong or focusing on them, but how you feel. And also another one is feeling empowered by not letting old energy into your new life. So when you are stepping into a new identity, remembering your power in that and deciding what you want in your life, because that's all it is. You can literally decide anything that you do or do not want in your life. So when my ex tried to come back to me, for example, after I had worked through a lot of nervous system regulation and really bringing my energy back and finding my power again, it is empowering when you do say no to that old energy coming back into your life. When I said no to my ex or just blocked his energy from my life, it was empowering to me. And that's a way that, you can just be there for yourself. And I just want to say that coming out of survival mode is not going to happen overnight. I've been doing this work for the past year since I've been home from Melbourne, and it's continuing every day. I'm still working through the motions and trying to work through my anxiety when little things or situations come up, maybe like aggression or anything like that. Just keeping my energy in check and deep breathing exercises to really just regulate my nervous system and confirm to myself that I am safe. Because when you do want to move through life and live a more positive and happier life, moving from survival mode, thriving and manifesting and all the good stuff does require nervous system regulation. And it can be as simple as breathing. Your new life will require self-trust and feeling grounded. So really just being there for yourself in these moments and remembering that you are safe and taking your power back and remembering who the fuck you are, because you deserve to live a happy life. We all deserve to live a happy life, and we need to work through this baggage that we have from life experiences or even childhood or anything that you've sort of been through that holds any negative energy. Really working through this and releasing this energy from your body so that you can live a happy and fulfilled and peaceful life. Because I know that's something that I am still constantly working on, and it does make such a difference. So I hope that episode did help. This was just something, I guess, that I felt called to talk about once again, as it's something I am going through and I have been going through deeply over the last year. So really just diving deep into inner work and nervous system regulation. And if you do have any questions about that, don't be afraid to reach out to me through messages or emails. which I will pop all my socials in the show notes for you to contact. But yes, I will. Other than that, I hope that you enjoyed and maybe got something out of it that you can take. And I will talk to you in the next week. If you can also like, comment, and share this episode to someone that you think may need it, I would so appreciate that. And hopefully, this can help someone else that you know. Sending you so much love. And I will talk to you in the next episode. Bye.